Always gotta make sure it's the right chat. I believe so. Okay, all right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Slice of Shonen Podcast. I am your host on the boat, Sailor. It's nice having you guys back here, man. This is the first episode of a new era, it feels like. We are without MHA, we are without JJK, you know. We're on the other side, man. We appreciate you guys for checking us out. I know a lot of people were here for JJK, so if you're still here after the fact, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. Let me make sure the stream is okay on YouTube. It's okay on Streamlabs, but Streamlabs like to lie. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. Of course, it's not just me. Were you gonna say something? I'll let you transition.
No, I wasn't. I was just agreeing.
True, and real. Let me see. We have the Silver. We have the me. Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
We have the Cookin' Taco, and of course the Zenith Annie Manga, whose channel and Patreon are linked down below in the description. Make sure you guys go check them out if you can. Go support them. Also, down below in the description is our friend Adam, aka Jigga. He's not here with us right now, but his channel is linked down below as well. Make sure you guys go check it out. Make sure you guys go check it out. Is there anything you guys would like to say before we get started? Like up the stream, by the way. Like up the stream.
I guess new series, new background. Dandadan is here. We'll be talking about it as the last thing we talk about today. So.
Yeah. Not everybody may not be caught up on Dandadan, so
or even interested. We're testing the waters with it.
Yeah. We're saving it for last, so you can use that as a dip out point if you're not caught up or you just don't care too much about it. I currently am still editing this video. I'm gonna try to have it out by either Tuesday or Wednesday, so you can look forward to that. I want to have it out hopefully on Tuesday, since we don't have a Chainsaw Man chapter, and it's going to be Chainsaw Man focused. So that can be your Chainsaw Man fill for that day. But if it's not Tuesday, then it's for sure going up Wednesday. It's not a long video. It's like 18 minutes. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a fun one. Let me look through some of these comments and then we can get started. My dream has come true. Dandadan, true. Let me see. The time has come. True. Let me turn this down a little bit. That's probably why that's so loud in my ear right now. Let me see. The Kagurabachi chapter. I know it was super good. Kagurabachi chapter was really good. Hello, fellas. Hello. Threw my back out, stuck at home. I can't beat the old man allegations anymore. Hey man, we get it. We understand. All I wanted to do was make my yard look nice, man. Bro, you just gotta lift with the legs next time.
Back injury and being responsible. Old.
Damn.
It's tragic. It happened.
Shake my head. Dandadan is here. One day Chain Soldier will make it here. One day, man. One day. Video not taken 17 centuries. I used to pray for times like this. Me too, brother. Me too. But yeah, it'll be up soon. Hopefully you guys fuck with it. But anyway, speaking of soon, we may as well just transition to what we're here to talk about right now, which is One New Piece chapter 1128. Fellas, how are you guys feeling about this one?
It was a good chapter. We're still.
Cool.
I thought it was all right, but we're just literally at the start of the arc, so we're still sort of building everything up.
Moving pretty fast, all things considered, too.
Yeah, honestly, it's funny, but this is pretty quick for Oda.
Yeah.
I will say, I think most of those mistakes last chapter, where people are like, "Oh, it's hallucination and stuff." I think they were just mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because there were so many of them too.
Right?
Fuck.
It was more than usual. That's the thing that fucks me up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't imagine him screwing up the Gear 4 thing. That one's just, it's so obvious, So I thought it had to be something intentional, but
who knows? Maybe it still somehow is.
Maybe
but
there's something, Maybe
yeah.
decided later.
Based on what
We'll
we've seen
see.
in this chapter so far, it seems like they have just been mistakes. Like Sanji, a big thing that people brought up was like, hey, Sanji's afraid of bugs. Why is he like willingly going after bees? But then you have the dude pull up on the big bug mobile and he's like, get that shit away from me. I don't want to be anywhere near that. So that's one big thing. I mean, Luffy still has his big sense of adventure. As immediately, that's what probably my favorite part of the chapter. Where he's like, yeah, it's a real big adventure ahead. Nami's like, please, bro. Why did you say that? Why did you say that, man? God damn it. Yeah, that part was really funny. Zoro is on bad timing too. Shouts out to him. Yeah, so far it seems like it's just errors, but who knows at this point? We could turn it around. It'll be nice.
Mm-hmm. I think so far my favorite part of these, like the first couple chapters of Elbaf, have just been seeing like all the community like theories and stuff like that. People trying to figure out like what's going on, what's going to happen next. It's been a lot of fun because it's like, I mean, obviously One Piece always has a fuck ton of theories going around, but like with Elbaf specifically, it's like no one really knows what the fuck is going to happen next.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's just cool seeing that. I'm not gonna recite a bunch of other people's theories because there's just so many, but I've seen a lot of cool ones. This chapter, like I said, it's the beginning of the arc chapter. I think it's really good. I think just this setup is really interesting. This like fake sun god and how they're like inside this like cage,
Workshop.
like, all the humans, so they'll worship him. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's neat.
Mhm.
I think a fun little thing too is just the animals are like, some of them get names, and they're like weirdly just off versions of Norse monsters and creatures. Like,
Yep.
like the crow is named Mugen, and the crows in Norse are, I think it's Munin and Hugin or something like that. It's I might be a little bit off. but
Munin
it's
and
like,
Hunin goes crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I hope those are the names.
It is. You got it right.
okay.
You get immunity.
Based.
Yeah, let's go. Then there's Hilmengarder, which is, Jormungandr, like for the snake, Yeah.
Yep.
It's just a little bit off for them. So I think that is also like, he's the fake, the same with the sun god. He's got a fake kingdom. He's got the fake monsters. It's none of it's real, and it's neat. And also the sun god, love the design. Also, it's One Piece, so he has a goofy ass face under there, I bet. But
I was about to say it's gonna be like a Sakamoto Day situation, like the deer dude.
But someone bringing this up, using Gear 5 with ACOG on random animals is crazy. I'm just saying, the fact that they did not just turn to dust, stronger than your faves.
Yeah,
I'm sure that snake is just dead. I'm gonna be honest, that snake does not look great.
Hey, it
Bro.
didn't get eviscerated.
we didn't even know if Luffy was using ACOG against some of the Seraphims. The fact that he said a snake and said, yeah, fuck you, man. Like, oh my god.
This is so.
Like, even the fact
this
that you
is-
went Gear 5 for it, it was wild to me.
Well,
You
Gear
forget.
5 just seems to be his normal state now.
I
just
like
really
that. I
close.
like Luffy being a troll. I think that's
It
funny.
This is normal. This is normal
Because it
fighting
doesn't
style now.
kill him. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously he was hesitant to use Gear 2nd when it was, like, his only thing. But, like, this just feels good to use, apparently. Like, it says it's when he's his most free.
Yeah.
So-
The only downside is it makes him tired, but as he uses it more, that's just
The stamina's
going
gonna
be-
increase, yeah.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
it's just naturally his only weakness is that right now. But I don't know, because obviously there's been a lot of theories, like I said, so I don't know everyone's theories. So I don't know if anyone else has already predicted this or said this. But my working theory right now, or what I think is going on, is I think the sun god is Loki.
I agree with that.
And I think,
okay.
because, how do I describe this? This is a lot of headcanon. I don't have like a whole lot of evidence to
Hey,
base
speak
this
your
on.
truth.
But I think what it might be is the reason why Loki is doing this, the reason why he's pretending to be the sun god and like having these like humans worship him, I think it's going to be a situation where Loki is the prince of Elbaf, but he's not really a warrior. He's not really respected by like all the other giants. So this is like a facade he's put on to like seek
a king. Yeah.
Seek approval, I guess. Like he just wants to be respected. And I don't think Loki's going to be a villain. I think right now he's starting off on the wrong foot. I mean, it's definitely
he's just a loser.
Up. Yeah, I think it's fucked up that he's holding humans in like a cage world or whatever, but they don't appear to be like mistreated or anything. Like he's not like, unless I'm forgetting something, but I don't think the humans are like particularly being mistreated. So it's like,
so far from what we've seen, we haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, so I don't think he's a good person, because a good person wouldn't keep humans as pets, but I don't think he's going to be evil either. I think the Straw Hats, after this conflict, he will probably end up becoming our like ally or our friend by the end of the arc.
Yeah.
I think what would be cool is if we have a Prince Loki. I mean, we talked about it before. I think there's going to be a Thor. And I think maybe what it could be is the reason why Loki feels like he feels so inadequate is because his brother is like, Thor is just the shit.
He's just the goat, like
yeah, he's like the strongest giant. He's a warrior. He's brave. He's powerful. Yada 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 yada. That's my working theory. That's what I think this is. I think that's what's going on right now.
Interesting. I was going to bring up the man marked by flames, because I know he has a whole thing where he's just sailing around and he's like just essentially, is it capturing people or sinking ships? Like I know he creates like
sinking
whirlpools
ships.
And shit. So like I don't. Okay, yeah. So I don't know if it's just like you're cooked sinking ships or if it's just like you get sent off somewhere else. Because the fact that the Sunny was just like so much further than the giant ship, like that doesn't make any sort of sense to me. So like I don't know how they get there.
I think the most popular theory I've seen, just like in the community, it was from Morge.
Morge's video was really good.
It was very
Morge
good.
made
Yeah,
a video about that stuff. Go watch that. I'm not going to explain the whole theory, but he had an interesting theory. I don't really agree with it though.
I don't agree with all of it, but I like the ideas.
I think that the ideas are really neat. But like I said, I think this fake sun god is Loki, and I don't think Morge thinks that. So. And I also, he just released a new video where it's like, I think he's like saying like, oh, they're not actually on Elbaf.
Yeah, he talks about how they're, yeah. So for that video, he talks about how, excuse me, how the Straw Hats aren't on Elbaf right now, and they're actually being captured by someone from the God's Knights, because someone from the backstory we get from Kuma and we see the God's Knights looks almost exactly like the Sun God right now.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that would do for the story, you know, because like,
I know Morge has been saying that, like what's it called? The Gods Knights are gonna be like the main antagonist of this arc, so that could be step one.
I disagree with.
Yeah, for sure, understandable.
I think they're on Elbaf too. I also don't agree that this is like world government people. I think this is just Elbaf.
Because like, the world government does have giants, but not in such high positions, you know?
True.
Not that I've seen.
Like, I think the most we've seen of them are like the vice admirals, right?
Yeah, and the vice admirals are fucking grunts.
At this point, yeah, vice admirals are.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's far more likely that we're there. I like the Loki theory a lot more. I think it builds for a more interesting character, especially if you go with the whole prince pretending to be a god type of deal. It really fits with what we've been sort of led to believe about the character, and it just kind of works.
Plays into Usopp as well.
Not to mention, the character's a giant.
Yeah,
you know,
plays into
a
Usopp.
glaring piece of evidence.
Well, another thing to consider is I started off the pod by saying I don't think the inconsistencies were the result of hallucinations or anything. I think they were just mistakes by Oda. But if they potentially weren't, if there is still some type of hallucinations going on, because it was odd that Nami said, like, oh, we drank that thing that makes us hallucinate. What's going on?
Yeah.
So I think there could still be some type of like hallucinations and stuff going on that could be connected. Maybe Loki has a devil fruit that he can like cause hallucinations or something like that. Because Loki's the god of, isn't
it trickery or something?
Yeah, like god of trickery, god of mischief. So it's
god of mischief.
I could see Loki having like powers like that if this character is Loki.
Interesting. I mean, shit. He better start putting in overtime on them powers because they're getting cooked right now. He needs to start doing something else, man. Because fuck, shit is not looking right for y'all.
And it's like, it's funny. I don't even think he has like we're going with like he's gonna be very god of mischief type stuff. He's clearly, I don't even think he's gonna have like actual powers because the whole kingdom is clearly like a kind of diorama,
Yeah, he built it.
He built it. And I think that is going to be another thing that kind of connects him to Usopp, where he's just sort of technically skilled instead of having like any kind of special abilities.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, and I think you can use the scene as evidence where they find like all the clothes and like the stuff, because Usopp specifically says, so these are, or no, that's Zoro says that. So Zoro says, so these are human-sized clothes in a giant's room. Are they supposed to be like doll's clothing? And then Usopp's examining them and he says, look at these though. Is this sun god a super delicate artisan or what? So I think it's interesting that out of all the Straw Hats that are involved in this, Usopp is immediately recognizing the sun god's like skills and is like almost. I feel like Oda's setting up that Usopp and Loki are going to share some type of connection. They're probably going to be friends. Maybe Usopp. I think it could be really cool if the sun god is Loki and he feels weak and inadequate because of, the culture that the giants have. I think it would be interesting if Usopp, who was inspired by the giants' culture, ends up being the one that inspires Loki.
Yeah, no. I was bringing up a similar thing. Like,
no,
it's a very
awesome.
big connection to Usopp.
I love that.
Because Usopp feels the same way, especially, like, if you compare it, like, you have, like, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, you got Jinbei now. Like, you got certified dogs on your crew. And now you, like, Usopp for a while hasn't been able to do much, and he's just like, fuck, man, what do I do? Like, I feel like this feeling of helplessness, like, both of them can relate to it, and they'll probably grow together because of it.
And the fact that they're both liars.
Exactly.
Because everything, this whole thing is a facade. It's a sham. It's a lie. Loki is lying to make himself feel better, which is what Usopp does all the time. And again, like Xena said, that connection where it's like they're both very crafty individuals. They're more like artistically gifted than warriors.
And that stuff goes unrecognized. So I think that'd be really cool if they built each other up.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if like next chapter, Luffy just lays out Loki or the fake sun.
Oh shit!
Just fucking knocks him out. He's not.
Damn.
He's not a fighter. Like, look at him.
I think he's weak. I think he looks angry and he's like, "How dare you? I'm gonna, not gonna let you escape." But like, Luffy's a Yonko. I think Luffy could just fucking one-shot him.
That does make sense.
No, I mean, the man has laid out giants before. It ain't gonna be that much of a shock if he does it here, but
that's true. He was like one-shot.
Like, remember Dressrosa?
Yeah, he's one-shotting Dressrosa giants and all the way back then. Fuck.
But yeah, that's my running theory, and I'm pretty confident at this point.
I 100% agree. Like, well, I don't know. Me and Taco are like usually on the same page when it comes to One Piece because we just talk about it like a lot.
Yeah, every time a new chapter comes out, usually we talk about it. Like, so it's
true.
I really like this chapter. I think because it's an early arc chapter. Usually they're pretty slow. Usually it's a lot of setup. But I will say I am enjoying this more than like say Wano. I think the beginning of Wano is really boring.
Wano's beginning
I
don't
mind Wano as much as others, but I can agree. I like this more.
It's nice to read through Wano like after it's done, but like chapter by chapter.
Weekly was painful. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the early Wano chapters are pretty rough.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe we'll get some of that here.
In. Yeah,
but,
we're
like,
only 2 chapters in, but I think
it's a promising start.
Literally just from these first 2 chapters, I'm already like more interested in like what's going on.
Locked in.
I think a lot of like Wano, I was more invested for like the idea, where I'm like, oh my god, it's Wano and Kaido's here and stuff like that. But the actual like what was happening wasn't that interesting to me.
Yeah. You didn't like the sumo, bro.
I didn't like when Batman kidnapped Tama or not Batman, but fucking.
It was Batman. You're not wrong.
No, it was Batman and Gazelle Man. But Gazelle Man was the one that grabbed her.
Yeah, Gazelle grabbed her. Yeah. Forgot about that.
And the Luffy and Zoro just couldn't catch him.
Yeah, bro. Hey,
he
man.
ran over, what was it, like 200 miles per hour, and Luffy just could not keep up.
Yeah, bro. Hey, man. You just gotta up the speed next time. That's why he was training in Udon. He was like, I have to beat Gazelle Man, man. I have to. He was like, first is Usopp, next Gazelle Man. I have to outspeed him.
Kaido who?
Yeah, Kaido, he got to the roof. He's like, Worororo, Mugiwara. You're almost as fast as Gazelle Man.
I like the color spread too this week.
Oh, it's awesome.
Like Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Style.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool.
I was close
I'm
to
fairly certain it's supposed to be like Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, I mean they're wearing like the black cloaks and they have the fucking brooms and shit.
Shit, man.
I like Frankie's. It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I like Zoro riding on the dragon. That's nice. Zoro's cool.
But Jinbei's there too.
Yeah, Jinbei's just chilling.
I mean, yeah, but Jinbei's just big chilling. You know, he's big cozy. You know, and I'm happy for him. You know, get some rest. Zoro, he's cool though. He's cool. Wano anime was way more booty than the manga. Damn.
That is true. Yeah, the one
the pacing is pretty rough. The animation is like the best One Piece has ever seen in terms of its anime.
Oh yeah.
Dressrosa pacing, but it gets a fucking pass because it looks pretty.
I would not say it's Dressrosa pacing. That Dressrosa pacing. Listen, it's close to it, but Dressrosa pacing sucked dick. It was horrible.
Yeah, no, I mean, Wano gets an immediate pass just for 10-15 alone. Like,
Wano gets a pass from actually covering like chapters, bro. Dressrosa would cover 2 pages in an episode.
The artwork of Luffy on the cover of the magazine this week was really cool too.
I'm hoping they release like a cleaned version of that, man. I want that so bad as like a wallpaper. That shit looks so good.
It looks so good.
That shit is so tough, man. Oh my god. Speaking of tough, man, Sanji, what did they do to you, bro? Watsuki ruined the magazine. Watsuki ruined the fucking magazine. This nigga came back. We have to draw Rurouni Kenshin. The freaky ass niggas are out, man. What did they do to my goat, Sanji? What did they do to him, man? This man, Sanji's like, my radar isn't going off. Sniffing around for Robin? What are you doing? What are you doing? You have these mirrors up and about? He's like, oh, you can see through them. He's like, Nami, can I put these up in the bathroom? Bro, stop gooning. Fuck, man. Sanji, no.
I did like his one line where he's like, this can't be a dream. There wouldn't be any men in it.
Yeah, that one was clever. That one was clever.
Funny.
That one was good. But like the other ones are just like, fuck, man. Sanji, stop. Cut it out, bro. But yeah, hopefully we gonna get you right next chapter, Sanji. We gonna get you right. We gonna get you right. That's our guy. That is our guy. I'm disappointed, man. I'm sad. I want our guy to be good. Rereading Wano was more painful because you know it's ass. Damn. Go ahead, Zenith.
I still actually like Wano, all things considered.
I like Wano overall. It definitely isn't perfect, but I like Wano overall.
I think there are really cool highlights.
It's like, yeah, I like Wano. Yeah, I like Gear 5 too. Damn. But what were you
There's
saying, Zenith?
a lot of really cool stuff in Wano, but it's in Wano, and that kind of holds it back, unfortunately.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I think Luffy's so fucking stupid. I love the moment when he runs into himself.
Yeah, runs into the mirror. That's my goat right there. Bro,
And I love it too because he can see him clearly enough. Like, he's wearing Elbaf clothes too. Okay. And like,
yeah. He's just like, oh, this guy looks like he knows what he's doing. Let me ask him for help.
That's a Yonko right there.
That's my fucking goat. Bro, Sleeping Danger, Sanji has observation hockey. That's how he's able to know. He doesn't need the fucking fan windows. The hell? He doesn't need the freaky windows, the mirrors or whatever. We don't need that.
Yeah, so a couple people have brought it up. Luffy can turn giant.
Yeah, bro.
And I think that's gonna be so funny, because, yeah, he can just, like, you know, Sun God's like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Luffy just, like, stares eye level at him the next panel.
That would be funny if, like, next chapter starts and it's Luffy just turning into a giant. Oh, no. It's like, yeah, you're cooked, buddy. It's over. It's over. Yeah, that'd be funny. Could you imagine that? Just like, oh my god, the sun god's out, and the next minute, like, Luffy's playing jump rope with him. It's like, oh. Well, fuck. All right. Well, that's them, I guess. Yeah, no. That'd be really cool. I almost forgot he could turn into a giant. So, yeah. I'm sure that's definitely going to happen in this arc. That's going to be awesome.
When I heard we were going to Elbaf, I've been waiting for it, honestly. Because I think it's going to be... I think it's interesting because this is a culture that's been really built. Like, we know so much about the Elbaf culture just already, despite, you know, just having gotten here, like, already, right? And I think it's interesting because this has been built up to be Usopp's arc as, like, someone who doesn't really fit the idealized standard. But Luffy, as a character, is almost built to fit it perfectly. Which, even to the point where he can just be one of them. Temporarily, of course. But...
yeah, good point.
And it's like, I think that's going to be interesting. I think it would be really interesting because, like, if there is, like, a Thor character to contrast, and he's, like, you know, the big tough guy that everyone loves, I think it'd be really interesting if he and Luffy become friends while Usopp becomes friends with Loki.
Luffy does have the L Thor too, so he has a move named after him. So hey, it's already the connection's there.
I think that could be. I think seeing Usopp and Luffy have vastly different experiences in Elbaf will be just really interesting.
That'd be so
Elbaf
cool.
has always been. Because that's one of those things where it's like people always focus on Usopp's relationship with the Giants, which is very prominent, but if you even go back to Little Garden, the two that met Dorian Broggy and became friends first were Luffy and Usopp.
Yeah,
like they were separated because they met each giant individually. But Elbaf has always been a destination that Luffy and Usopp wanted to go to. Like whenever they're like, "Let's go to Elbaf," they're like, you know, hanging the arm in arm. They're like both excited to go there. So it's like, I actually do like that. If it's like Luffy does make a friendship or have a connection with Thor, while Usopp has a friendship or connection with Loki, I think that would be really interesting.
I think it's inevitable, just the way that it's been built up.
And most likely, it's like the Giants should already love Luffy because of everything he's done, and he's, you know, he's the sun god. He took down Big Mom. He's done all this stuff.
Connected with Shanks as well.
And I would imagine most likely, unless there is an Odin, Thor should just be the ruler of Elbaf. I don't know who else would be besides, like, if Odin's still alive, if Loki and Thor's father Odin is still alive, he should be the king. Like, but if he's not, then Thor should just be the leader of Elbaf. So it makes sense. Because Luffy always becomes friends with the leader of the country that he's in. You know?
Yeah.
Like, to put it into perspective, imagine this was a story that up to this point has solely taken place in Elbaf, and then Luffy comes in. He is so built to fit in that most people would just be like, "Who is this Mary Sue ass dude?" Like, He has so much rep behind him already. He can literally be one of them temporarily. He is literally just their desired archetype of a person.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And
he's the god they worship.
I was about to say Luffy is technically a giant to them, bro. He's the literal sun god.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, dude, this is awesome. This is some good shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to this arc, actually, the more I think about it.
Elbaf is shaping up to be very, very good. But is there anything else we'd like to talk about before we move on to the next thing?
I don't know anything.
Okay, let me look through a few comments and then we'll move on to our next topic. Let me see. Will the Giants be even more ass than the Wano Samurai? No way. They got carried by Odin for like 100 years, bro. There's no way. Let me see. Kadeki said, I literally bent over, heard a pop and crack, and everything went downhill. Fuck. Damn, bro. Yay, rest up. Rest in that bed, brother. Rest in that bed. Blue Box got me ready to crash out this chapter. I haven't read it yet. I gotta read it.
Oh my god, dude, the Blue Box chapter had me so upset.
I'll read it once we get off, man.
It's a good chapter, but it's like drama, so you know.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I didn't have time to read it, but I'll read it after the podcast. Let me keep looking. Anime Batman might be top 10. True. Sun God has very why iota energy. Real. Why iota?
What?
Bro, you're old. Why iota? You know that. You know?
Okay, but then you should know what it is too.
Well, I do, but that's because I hang around other old people and they make old
like
jokes,
you.
and I go, yeah, like what's the whole thing around that? And then they tell me,
all right, grandpas,
what the hell, grandpas? Ain't no plural. What the fuck?
Yeah, the 80-year-old's calling the 90-year-old.
That's fucked up, man. No way.
It is.
Let me see. You simply don't get it. Freaky ass windows are the way. Hey man, clearly I'm not picking it up. Isn't L Thor at L's attack? I'm pretty sure it is, but I know Luffy has an attack named Thor. Like it's something Thor. I thought it was L Thor as well, but
it's Thor Elephant Gun, maybe.
Yeah, something. He used it in Dressrosa.
Yeah, against Don Shinjao.
Yeah,
actually, I guess I can just look it up.
Yeah, it is something with Thor in it. Something with Thor. Let me see. The Giants fast during their ceremonies, so this might stop Luffy from going Gear 5 for a while if he's starving. Good point. I didn't even think about that. Interesting. Ace, we'll keep that in the tuck. We'll keep that in mind.
We'll see how that affects things.
Let me see.
Will this affect Luffy's legacy?
I was about to say, how will this affect LeBron's legacy? Let me see. People focus on Usopp more because he's got pretty much nothing post time skip, while Luffy has been relevant pretty much to almost every plot line, as he should. That's my goat. But yeah,
he's gross.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, no, he's completely right though.
Yeah, he is. That's true. Hopefully they both get some more. Hopefully. But anyway, let's transition into our next chapter. I have to rewrite the order in my notes here.
Yeah, it's just Gum Thor Elephant Gun. It's
Gum Thor Elephant Gun. All right, there you go. Now we know. But next up on the docket is going to be Hunter x Hunter, The Big Return, Chapter 401. Fellas, how you feeling about this one?
Now,
I mean, it's always a good light novel chapter.
I'm gonna be honest. I need a recap. Because they were saying characters' names, and I don't fucking know anyone's names.
Yeah.
A lot of characters and a lot of shit going on. But from what I did understand, I did really like this chapter. Well, I think this chapter is a big turning point. So I think it makes sense that this was the return chapter. This was the chapter. Togashi basically was like, all right, if I'm going to do a chapter back, I got to make something interesting.
Absolutely,
so it's like, this is a really good chapter. I like that Beyond is becoming more important because I thought for the longest time, I thought Beyond, because I always knew Beyond was going to be Beyond was going to be a big fucking deal because he's Netero's son. Like, there's no way it doesn't, he's not a huge deal. But I thought, like, okay, he's on the ship, but they got him, like, chained up and, like, yada yada. I thought he was just going to be, like, he's on the ship, but he's not going to become important until we get to the Dark Continent.
To the Dark Continent, right, yeah.
I thought that's when he would get focused. But now figuring out that he's been, like, manipulating all of this behind the scenes the entire time, it's like, oh, yeah, it's a really good twist. I really, really like. And it makes me wonder if there was, like, foreshadowing before, because, like, I don't remember.
I'm going through all this again.
I don't think
I'm not going to try and pretend like I reread this stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I really need a refresher to, like, properly discuss the chapter. That's my fault, because I knew it was coming back, but I just got lazy and I didn't feel like rereading this arc, because it's
understandable.
a lot.
Hey, man, look, we all got our own schedules here, man. Like, I got to deal with grad school. Oh, I ain't got time to reread Hunter x Hunter.
I started.
or I need like a whole year free for that shit.
I started rereading Dandadan for the podcast, but
same.
I might
also that's Dandadan. It's a lot easier.
Oh my god, it's so quick, dude.
It's so fast.
Easy to get through Dandadan. But also, I'm sure some YouTuber out there has made like a recap video that's like detailing all the important details.
Yeah, I think like
so
World Reviews did.
I might try to watch like one of those videos, but
yes, if you find one, link it to me.
I will. Yeah, if I find one, then I'll shout them out on the next pod too. I'm like, you guys gotta go watch this video, because
yeah.
But yeah, this was a really cool chapter. I actually, it's funny because I'm gonna be honest. When the chapter opened and I saw his Kurapika, I was like, fuck, no, like please, God, no,
please, God, save us.
Yeah, because
like I love Kurapika. Yeah, he's one of my favorite characters.
Is just, man, this character I love. Too bad he has the worst fucking chapters.
Yeah,
Kurapika is like a toss-up.
Storyline.
Yeah.
Storyline has been the most inconsistent in this arc. It's been because the fucking thing with Kurapika is like, oh my god, the spiders are on the boat and he doesn't know, and there's all this intrigue and all this shit, but he doesn't know. Like he's just been doing this. The thing he's doing in this chapter, this fucking like Nen shit, this is what he's been doing forever. So it's like,
and this is the most interesting it's been in terms of that.
Yeah, because we get this big reveal, and it's connected to a character I care about. Because it's one of those things where it's like, oh my god, I don't remember all the princes, but it's like, oh my god, the fourth prince is doing all this stuff. It's like, oh, that's cool, I like the fourth prince, but like, whatever.
He's been the standout, yeah.
Since it's beyond, I'm like, oh, now I'm, interested.
Yeah, because he's been so connected to this entire journey to the Dark Continent. Like, he's been the driving force behind this whole thing. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to figure out what exactly he wants. Because at first I thought it was like what you were saying, Tago. Like, he just wants to go to the Dark Continent. We're gonna go explore. We had that whole thing hyped up. Netero being like, dude, the Dark Continent is uber fucked, man. This shit is scary. So Beyond saying like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go there. Everyone in the Kakin Empire, we're gonna try to expand our reign and our legion and things like that. Yeah, I thought it was just something like that, and now we're having in this chapter where it's just like, hey, there's some deeper things underneath the surface, figuratively and literally, with the fucking pipe bombs in our children's stomachs, and they're set up to kill all of these people. And I'm wondering, I mean, this has to be different from, I mean, I'm just talking out loud right now, but like this has to be different from a Nen beast, like this curse that they put on them. The fact that it's so difficult to get rid of, I'm really wondering, like, even in this new arc, we're learning new applications for Nen. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm really wondering what's gonna go on with that.
It's interesting because the way it's said is it is, where is it?
It's a like worthy sacrifice.
Not even just that, but basically said that this is Beyond's. It literally says that was a side effect of Beyond's Nen attack, and that's when the first gets described. So this is something like this is his ability, and I think that's a really important thing to take note of.
It could, or It couldn't be, because the way they were fucking talking about, like, hey, isn't healing a Nen attack as well? And, like, just talking about different aspects of what a Nen attack could even be. So, like, it could be his ability for sure. It would definitely match up with him. He's described as, like, cunning and greedy and all of these things. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know.
I'm just spitballing here. I'm speaking out loud because, again, my memory not great of all the events and all the characters. But the girl on the color page at the beginning, that is the mafia chick. She's the one that working with Hisoka that gave him the ability.
Yes.
That's what we were all excited about, because it's the more people he kills, the stronger he gets. And it's like,
yes.
Hisoka having that is
insane.
Like,
especially at this point, where he's just
like,
kill everybody.
Worst case scenario. So
I think that's Camilla. I don't remember her name though.
She is also the biological sister of Sir Eidnik, the fourth prince. I don't remember if they're half siblings or full siblings. I think they're half siblings. Right?
They're related in some way. I don't know, but they're siblings.
She's related to him specifically.
Yes,
and not all the other princes. I guess they are.
I think she was an I think it was specified that she was an illegitimate child. Well, had her with another woman.
Well, that's what I wanted to bring up, because now I'm wondering.
That's interesting.
Is she and Sir Eidnik actually Beyond's children? Because that's the theory where they're like, is one of the princes Beyond's child, not the king's?
I feel like that would have to be the case, because Oito brings up, like, to be qualified, you have to be born to Nasubi Huigoro's lawful wife. So it sounds like if you're, like, a bastard kid, pretty much, you come from another woman, and they're still entered in anyway, that in itself is kind of suspicious, because I think they even brought up, like, hey, you have to be born from the wife, but, like, hey, maybe Huigoro just sat in the fucking cuck chair and let Beyond pipe her down for a bit. It doesn't say who's the parent who the father has to be.
Wild.
That's what I'm wondering.
Nigga, I'm just saying.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, is if, because the Emperor has to be in on it. He has to. There's no way he doesn't know one of the princes.
Well, wait,
his child?
Because he's planning this whole thing.
Well,
does he know?
Does he know? Yeah, I got the impression that he doesn't.
Yeah.
I think he does. I don't have any evidence for this. I just think he does.
Right.
And I think the mafia girl and Sir Eidnik are Beyond's biological children. And the reason Beyond was able to get Sir Eidnik in the Succession War, but he couldn't get her in. I think that's what the twist is going to be. It's like Sir Eidnik is Netero's grandson. And that's why he's so talented. That's why he's so gifted. That's why, even in comparison to all the other princes, like, yeah, the first prince is really powerful. He had Nen even before the Succession War started. But Sir Eidnik is growing at a rate that we've never seen before.
Yeah, he's fucking godly.
I think it's because he's Netero's grandson.
That could be. That would actually be really interesting.
And I think the final conflict, the characters, to me, because there's a lot of stuff going on, but I think as the arc builds, it's going to get smaller. And I think the four characters that this is all hinging on, that it's all building up to, the confrontation between these four characters is going to be the climax of the arc. It's Hisoka, Frollo, Kurapika, and Sir Eidnik. I think those four are the four
They're the big
really
players.
Pay attention to.
The big
players. Yeah, they are the four big players.
There's Jing and Pariston too, but we don't know what they're doing. I think those four that you listed are the main ones, though. I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be really interesting too if Sir Eidnik is, Netero's grandkid. God, that's crazy to actually just say.
I think that's what it's gonna be.
That would be really cool, because literally, like, his last words, like Netero's last words to Meterum were like, "You do not understand how far, like, a human beings can go." Like how,
like our malice.
The translation differs. Sometimes he said it's it translates as evolution, like how far we can progress. Sometimes it's like how fucked up we are, depending on the translation you're looking at. But both apply in this case.
You have no idea how good humans are at killing shit, bruv. You just don't know.
And I think it's interesting because Netero leaves a positive impact, I think, on the reader and on a lot of the characters in the story for the most part, because he was the chairman of the Hunter Association. He definitely cared about the Hunter Association.
Yes.
And he did a lot of things that helped a lot of people. But Netero's a bad person. And I think that's like Netero was generally good because I think that's what he found more entertainment in. Because so much of what Netero did was just for shits and giggles. Like, he just did shit just to do it. He's a fucking troll.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that Tserriednich seems to have this same, like, he just does shit because he enjoys doing it, but he's evil. Like, he didn't have anything to, like, steer him in, like, a better direction. He's just a piece of shit. And I'm wondering if, like, that connection they have, I'm wondering, it'd be, because here's the thing, he might just not be. And then Tserriednich is just, you know, the king's son, and he is just a piece of shit. But I think it would actually make Tserriednich such an interesting character if he's beyond Sun and Netero's grandson.
Yeah. I hope it's the case.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. If it does end up being the case, I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it at all. But yeah,
I think that would also make you know, with Tserriednich being such a potentially prominent villain for this series, that would make Jing and Pariston's role a lot more interesting too, because that would be like, you know, what is Netero's legacy actually, and who gets to define that legacy? Is it the people who worked for him and like knew him the best, or is it a blood thing? Whereas like this is someone who is like the worst possible version. There's a lot of narrative.
Like seeing the duality of Netero. Like someone who is like I mean, even him having the Bodhisattva and like him seeming to be enlightened and all of this stuff, but you also have something like the Rose Bomb, where it's just like he's very enlightened, but he can also be very cruel. I think there's even a moment in the Meruem fight where it's like, this is the most cruel attack from the kindest god or something like that. When he gets slapped with the Bodhisattva, is like, damn, bro. I mean, it could just very much be like a duality thing for Netero.
Again, this is all assuming that this is the case, but I think it's undeniable how much narrative potential there is.
Right.
Tserriednich having that familial connection. It could be really cool. And again, just explains his insane potential, but you don't have to explain that. But like, also, the characters who have insane potential tend to be related to characters with insane potential in this series. Like, that's just how it's always been.
True.
I'm gonna be honest, Tserriednich also looks like not identical, but he looks pretty similar to young Netero.
I kind of see it.
If you look up young Netero, like from the backstory when he's punching, like whatever it was, 10,000 times a day, like they have similar hairstyles, similar facial hair, even their noses are similar. Like I think that's what it's gonna be. Maybe it's a red herring. Maybe that's what Togashi is trying to make us think, and then it's the actual grandson is someone else.
But there's just so much there.
Dude, I love Hunter x Hunter. Despite its flaws, I think Hunter x Hunter is just one of the most interesting stories to talk about.
God, man.
Consistently.
So good.
Consistently. Yeah, like
I love it when it's
podcast.
Yeah.
When Hunter x Hunter is good, it's like
it fucking bangs, bro. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, no, it's so much fun to just like speculate because there's so much stuff left here to speculate on. Like there's so much shit to chew on in this chapter. And even so, like, I mean, I know everyone else isn't planning to, but I'm planning on rereading this current arc just for the sake of the podcast. So like, I'm wondering how much shit will start to like pop up and be like, oh, okay, this could connect to this and this could connect to this and blah, 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 blah. So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, there's so much shit, man.
I'm curious. because Togashi, the way he writes Hunter x Hunter, it is. I hate when people say it's a subversion of.
It's a
Shonen tropes.
deconstruction.
I was about to say it's a deconstruction of shonen. Shonen fans hate being shonen fans.
I hate when people say that.
They're so ashamed.
But at the same time, Togashi does just sometimes do shit. Just to do it. Just to do it, yeah. Because I feel like Hunter x Hunter really is like Togashi, like just doing what the fuck whatever he wants.
Yeah, of course.
Because Hunter x Hunter can come off as a deconstruction because it actively goes against a lot of shonen tropes and archetypes sometimes. Mm-hmm. But not because it's trying to be a deconstruction. Togashi's just a dude who does what he wants.
He's just extremely creative, yeah.
It's because Togashi as an author is a master of his craft. He's written shonen before. He wrote Yu Yu Hakusho, so
yes, sir.
He has such a grasp of these concepts that it's like, I don't think he's doing it where he's like, oh, I'm going to do this differently on purpose. I think he's just like, yeah, this is what people normally do, but I'm going to do something else. You know what I mean? It's like
he wants to write something that's interesting to him.
Yeah, like he's, and the reason why I bring it up is because with Frollo learning about the origin of the Phantom Troop, I think it's interesting because we talked about it before, where it's like Frollo created the Phantom Troop basically out of a desire to protect his family.
Yeah.
Because of the girl that was killed. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, he killed Kurapika's clan as a result down the line. And Kurapika became the man that he is out of revenge to kill these people that killed his family. And now
his family's dying.
Hisoka is almost like a monster that Frollo created.
Yeah.
Because Hisoka
both him and Kurapika are.
Yeah, Hisoka was always crazy. Hisoka was always on the verge of falling off the edge. But Frollo killed him. He came back. He's no longer Hisoka. He is something else. He is.
Yeah.
That scene where he killed fucking Kurapika and who was it?
I know who you're talking about. I just don't remember their names.
Yeah, the two Phantom
Shalnark and Shalnark. Yeah. Where he just kills them when they're coming out of the bathroom. Yeah.
He killed them when they were completely off guard. It's like the old Hisoka would never do that. He would want a fair fight. But now it's like Hisoka is this wild animal that's just killing indiscriminately. And now he has this ability that makes him more powerful just by doing that. And it's like,
let the demon out, bro.
Yeah, so it's like Hisoka is, even though Kurapika and Frollo have this hatred of each other, and it's like they genuinely want to kill each other, I'm wondering if it's going to take a direction where Frollo and Kurapika, they don't have to forgive each other, but they have to kind of let their hatred for each other go to take down Tsuridnik and Hisoka, who are the true evil.
I was just about to bring up, too, because Kurapika in this chapter is more than likely going to get the ability to make a contract.
Yeah.
So,
you're fucking right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely going to make a contract.
And it's a contract that makes people stronger or weaker.
Yeah.
So that would be really interesting, is if his only way of surviving is if he has to make a contract with Frollo that makes him stronger.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, that would be fucking wild.
You would hate that, but if it's his only option, shit.
He'd have to.
Because it would be so interesting because Kurapika is basically put in this position where he's going to be forced to decide what's more important: revenge against the man responsible for killing his clan, or protecting this innocent baby.
Yep.
That has no reason to die. Mm-hmm. And Tsuridnik is going to kill this fucking baby because Tsuridnik wants to be the emperor. He wants to win the succession war, and nothing's going to stop him. We've seen he's sadistic.
He's crazy. Yeah.
He's powerful. Yeah, he is a serious threat. And it's like, if Kurapika doesn't use everything at his disposal, he's not going to be able to defeat Tsuridnik. And then you have Hisoka on the other hand, where it's like Frollo, even though he hates Kurapika and he wants to kill him, it's like Hisoka is hunting the Phantom Troop. He's killing anyone indiscriminately, but his mission is to kill every single member of the Phantom Troop.
Yep.
So it's like Frollo has to work. He's going to probably have to work with Kurapika to save the rest of the Phantom Troop. It's like, Oh god, dude, this arc is so good.
Fuck, man.
I want more chapters.
God,
Please,
yeah.
please keep writing, dude.
That's so
I mean-
tough too, because Kurapika's already hard nerfed because his abilities only work on the Phantom Troop. So that's gonna make that decision even more tenuous for him. He's just like, I could fucking annihilate you niggas right now, bro. Oh my god.
Do we know exactly how that works? Because this is what I'm wondering.
There is a loophole for some abilities. Like I know Dolphin Chain, like he can use on other people, but like his strongest ones, Emperor Time and all that shit, like it's locked behind Phantom Troop.
This is what I was gonna ask. What if Kurapika doesn't fight Tsuradnik and Crollo fights Hisoka? What if they switch? And what if Crollo basically says, Hisoka, you are a member of the Phantom Troop? Would then Kurapika's abilities work on him?
It might.
I mean, in that case, yes.
That would be so fucking sick if that's what happened.
Because actually now that I remember, was Hisoka ever actually formally kicked out of the Phantom Troop? Would he still be considered a member by that rule?
I think he took himself out. I remember the one thing where he planted, he had the tattoo on his back and he just took it off with bungee gum. So
yeah. Well, yeah, no, with a fake tattoo, I know that, but
could that be a loophole if Crollo is the leader of the Phantom Troop? If he designates Hisoka a member, yeah, would that count for Kurapika's ability?
I mean, it depends on whatever Takashi wants to do.
That's
really cool.
Because you could have it, because I'm sure there are spiders out there that eat itself. So what if he just views it as that? Hisoka is a member of the troop and he's just eating itself essentially. So I don't know, man. Oh damn.
And that would
damn.
Be because then Kurapika is not only fighting to protect the baby, he's literally protecting the Phantom Troop.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the big one. He's protecting the Phantom Troop. Because Crollo, how many times has it been emphasized Crollo is our fucking rock, bro? He's holding this entire organization together. Without him, we're nothing. So yeah, no, he has to protect the Phantom Troop. This shit is good? Question mark? Hunter x Hunter good?
It just depends how it plays out. Because that's why I started this whole conversation with Togashi just does stuff sometimes to do it. So it's because a normal story would be Kurapika lets go of his hatred and revenge to protect the innocent baby. But this is Hunter x Hunter. Maybe Kurapika doesn't. Maybe he can't let go of the hatred. You know what I mean? It's I don't know what he's
I get the sense that he is just a tragic character.
Yeah, I have no idea what direction this is going to take. All of that yapping, it sounds cool, but it could be wrong. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact that it's getting us to talk about it is what makes it so good, though.
Yeah, it's still really cool. This arc is one of the most interesting setups.
Yeah,
I've ever
for
seen
sure.
in a shonen. It's so cool. I love it, man.
Yeah. Oh, so it's only chain jail is only restricted? I could have swore he could only...
I thought it was chain jail.
I thought it was all his other ones, too. Okay. I thought it was all his other ones except for the dolphin.
Yeah, no, because, I mean...
Dolphin and obviously the dowsing chain.
Yeah, because he also has, he's the dowsing chain. He has the one that can heal him, He has a lot of stuff that, the healing one, for example, how do you only use that against the Phantom Troop?
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was locked behind Emperor Time. That was my bad then. That makes sense then. That makes sense. Thank you for the correction, yo.
I thought that was the case. That makes sense.
Yeah, sure you did, buddy. Anyway, let's move on.
I couldn't remember what it was called, so I didn't say anything just to not look dumb.
It's fine.
I guess they don't have to switch.
I mean, still, chain jail is his best ability.
Yeah, that's the best ability. Yeah. So, I mean, either way, Kurapika is going to gain access to a contract, so I don't think it's totally off the table for him to just be all right, fuck it, sign the contract, come on, let's, come on, man, come on, sign it,
Oh my god. Chrollo versus Saraidnik would be so cool.
That'd be insane.
that would just be the best fight in the series.
Oh my god, that'd genuinely be fucking insane. What the hell?
The trickiest character in the series versus a guy who can see it all coming. Like, how would that go?
Oh my god, dude,
So
that would be
cool.
such a cool fight. Oh,
That should be really good, man. That should be really
You
good.
know, I mean, I know I always rag on Tagashi a lot, but Hunter x Hunter really is just so fucking good.
So cool.
I love it.
Hunter x Hunter is
It's
great.
one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
I love Hunter x Hunter. Yeah. Another thing I will say, the art in this chapter really fucking good. Like where you see the curse
Dude,
in
the curse is
Longhi.
so cool.
Yeah, man. Oh my god, that shit is like nightmare
I'm
fuel.
really, because I know he said he has like new assistants that are like helping him.
Oh, did he?
So-
That's awesome.
Thank God.
Thank
I'm
God.
pretty sure, didn't he? And someone in chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he did mention, because the beginning of this chapter, or maybe it was like his like author like comment of the week. He's basically thanking everyone that's like helped him get back into drawing and writing and stuff. I think he started restructuring the way he works to
Oh,
increase
bless.
his productivity.
Yes,
Because
take
before
good
it's like,
care of yourself, man.
you know, his back just hurts so much. Like it was hard for him to make any like real progress.
Right, yeah.
But I think he did mention that he has like hired new assistants. He's kind of like reworked the way that he does his work, and it's like helping him be more
Bless,
productive.
man. Good for him, man. Yeah, don't
Mhm.
carry all that burden yourself, man. I know it's a lot, but you know, don't carry that for yourself, man. That's good. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. But yeah, man, really good chapter to come back on. Really good chapter to come back on. I'm excited to see
Mhm.
where this goes. We could
I
get
hope
another
we
banger.
get-
We could get another yap session. I don't know.
I hope we get more than 10 chapters, because that's the way the last couple times he comes back, makes enough for a volume, and then leaves again for like a year.
Yeah. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
I think
I'm
I was
glad
reading
we're at least
somewhere on-
getting a volume's worth every time. You know?
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know
we're-
what's
Yeah,
dropping.
We're gonna at least get 10 chapters, but I'm hoping we'll get more this time around.
I feel like I was seeing somewhere that he actually had 20 chapters prepared this time.
That would be great.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be really cool.
I mean, I can't
20
actually
chapters
say
is a
anything
lot.
for certain. The only well, that's always a possibility too. I ain't gonna cap. But the one thing I can say for certain is that we are scheduled to get a chapter 402 next week, at least according to Viz.
True. Very true.
That's good.
Oh, Hunter
I'm
Hunter
looking
has
forward
another
to it.
volume? I'll have to buy that. I didn't even know Hunter x Hunter came out with another volume. All right, but yeah.
I remember I read this chapter and I was like, man, good chapter. That was really interesting. And then like it's talking about it. And I remember, man, Hunter x Hunter's so fucking good.
Right? Yeah, man. This shit's gas. This shit is gas, man. I love me some Hunter x Hunter. But yeah, good
I'm out
chapter,
of
man.
stuff to say.
Good chapter, man. You fellas ready to move on to our next topic here?
Yeah, what's up, fellas? What's up?
All right, so next up on the docket is Chainsaw Man chapter 179. Fellas, how are we feeling about this one?
I mean, I think Denji himself put it pretty well. Vam Vaga. Like,
He didn't put it well at all. What the fuck does that mean?
it means it's.
I mean, come on, you know.
I'm pretty sure he's saying hamburger,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's hamburger.
which I
'Cause he
think
says
is
the
hilarious because
same thing.
it means it's the only word he knows.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Vam Vava.
Last week I said I didn't think he would accept the contract and
I'm
kill
so
the
proud
kids.
of my boy. Go
I
ahead.
was a little worried. I'm gonna be real. I was like, oh, he might do
He
it.
might do it, yeah.
I'm glad he did it.
Yeah.
He beat the allegations. Let's go.
Bro, he beat my allegations, bro. I didn't fully believe in him. I'm gonna be honest.
Hey, man. Thank goodness.
I mean, in fairness, I think it's less that as being driven by a moral code and more like he just does not know what the fuck is going on right now.
But it's like interesting because it's like he's asking for blood. He
Mhm.
he doesn't want to be given blood at the sacrifice of people. He just wants people to give him blood.
Yeah, bro. Be a blood donor, man.
I
Well,
still
it
feel
makes
like
me
that's
wonder-
giving him too much credit, but
Well, it makes me wonder who's going to be the person that gives him the blood.
Has to be Yoru.
It might.
Has to be Yoru.
That would be a hell of a buff.
Because Aging Devil is like, I'm gonna fuck both of y'all up. So, like, has to be Yoru at this point.
Yoru just used the attack that laid him out on his ass, and the Aging Devil just stopped
Just ate that shit. Yeah, just like, all right.
Was embarrassing.
Yeah, like, it literally just stopped it. It's like, I am gonna strangle you, bro. Why would you shoot me? Why would you do that? What the fuck? Yeah, no. I think for sure it's gonna be Yoru. Yoru's gonna have to put aside her hatred. Because she was so giddy in this chapter. Oh my god. W finesse, by the way. W gaslighter. She's so giddy in this chapter. Just be like, I am not letting anyone else kill Chainsaw Man. So it could be a Vegeta situation where she's like, the only one who can kill Kakarot is me. You know? So it's like that.
Yeah, I love Dragon Ball.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you love it so much you haven't
Dragon
seen
Ball gas.
Bro, what do you mean? I've literally watched VTubers play that. What was the last game that came out? Kakarot?
Kakarot, yeah.
Sparking Zero?
Sparking Zero isn't out yet.
It's not out yet. I literally watched VTubers play that game, so I literally know the entire story.
I was going to say, bro, he's a Dragon Ball fan. Dragon Ball fans don't watch their own series. He's fine.
Exactly, bro.
He's fine. Yeah, he's okay. It works. But yeah, no. Were you going to say something? Go ahead.
In this chapter, too, and this is the big thing I've seen a lot of people talking about, is just the relationship between Yoru and Asa. It is changing.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't, straight up, W gaslighting on page 10. You're afraid of me, that hurts. Like, oh my god, what a victim. Oh,
it's so unfortunate too, because like when I was reading that chapter, I felt bad because like when I was rereading through the series, there's a moment where Yoru's just like, people are forgetting about me and then I'm gonna be gone and it's all Chainsaw Man's fault. And Asa's like, you're afraid of being forgotten? And we don't get that answer. So for Yoru in this moment to just be like, you're abandoning me. Oh, okay. You know what? Fuck it. I'll back off. Fine. It was like, oh man, like I felt bad. So when Yoru turned around, it's like, fuck you. I was like, no, Yoru, no. I couldn't listen. I call Asa a loser all the time, and it's because she is. But like, hey, I would have felt for the same shit. I'm not gonna lie. I would have felt for the same thing. Because Asa, especially, like, her whole thing is just like, I wish I would have lived more selfishly. And her entire time, she's been doing nothing but give. And she sees one person, and this goes back all the way at the start, you know, like, as long as my heart's in the right place, that's all that matters. She sees someone, and she can relate to that pain, and she understands it, and she's like, you know what? Be free, my love. Be free. Do what you want to do. I understand what you're going through. And it's like just being so unselfish about it and just immediately getting betrayed for it. It's like, oh man, fuck, dude. Fuck, man. I would have felt for the same thing, Asa. I get it.
It's a really cool moment too, because it's like I like how it calls back to when we first find out that fear sort of takes her control. So it's like, she gets scared in this moment. It's like, oh, fuck, I don't have control. Time to gaslight. And then immediately goes back to murdering.
Yeah, man. Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a good chapter, man.
It's really good, yeah. Shout out Lexton for the donation saying, Aging Devil basically having decay with time stop is crazy broken. Primal Devils are truly broken. I don't see how Denji will ever beat one. Bro, he's simply gonna eat it. It's gonna go away.
Well, he never has, so that's...
Bro.
He never has beaten one.
Believe in my goat.
I mean, I'm just saying, the track history kind of doesn't help.
Have we ever considered
erase the books?
Have you ever considered maybe we don't need to defeat the Primal Devils, we just need to befriend them? Have you ever considered that?
Genuinely, yeah.
Type shit.
Alright, well.
Because, okay, the main villain is the Death Devil, and like, this is Fujimoto we're talking about. That motherfucker's not dying.
It wouldn't make any sense to anything he's ever written if he's like, it would literally go against everything Fujimoto's ever written in like almost all of his stories if he ends Chainsaw Man with like, actually death like sucks and we shouldn't die. Like we should just stay alive forever.
I don't think it would be a betrayal if Fujimoto writes the Death Devil out. I don't think it's gonna happen, I should say. But I think it'd be very Fujimoto to be like, life sucks and you don't die. Good luck, idiot.
Right.
I think it'd be like a very much a thing. Really? Everyone being like, I want to be immortal, and then they get it and they're like, fuck, dude, this sucks. This is awful.
Personal.
So basically, we are going with Fire Punch then.
Well, that's the thing.
Could be.
Like, my personal prediction for the ending of Chainsaw Man, and this could change. We're not quite there yet, but I think Denji or Pochita, whoever's in control at the time, will have the opportunity to eat the Death Devil, and will ultimately choose not to, because that would be. Really
I think
bad.
So too. Yeah.
And well, I mean, again, look at Fire Punch. Literally, the ending is the main character dying, and it is the happiest moment of his life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Genuine, it is such a like actually bittersweet scene. I love it so much. But
yeah, I think that would definitely be the case, because so much of part 2 has been Denji trying to make his own decisions, but people won't allow him to. And it's all been for the case of just like, all right, we have to beat the Death Devil. We got to get him super strong. So I think Denji making that choice of just being like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do that. That'd be pretty impactful.
I wonder if Denji, because the hybrids are immortal. I wonder if the Death Devil has any power over them with that in mind. Like, they literally can't die. Unless their core is removed from them, like their devil heart, unless it is straight up taken from them and destroyed, they cannot die. They will come back or remain in a state of being fucked up until they're healed.
Yeah. I wonder how that'll work.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of just any way that they could do that. Like,
I mean, that would
beat death.
Yeah, that would be the most suitable thing, because like the thing that's empowering death is obviously fear. So like, you just send in a bunch of niggas who can't die. They have no fear of death. So like, that's your best option. I mean, obviously everyone else still fears death, so plenty powerful. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's a really interesting dilemma. We'll have to wait and see for that one. But yeah, man, I just feel so bad for Asa. I feel so bad.
I'll message Fujimoto and ask him.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, let me know what he
Appreciate
says. Let me know what he says on that genre for me real quick. But yeah, I like Asa just being like, do you really think things will work out the way that you think? And Yoru's just walking through the fucking gaping hole, and she's like, don't you steal my fucking kill. Don't you ever in your life. Asa's like, please, man, just listen to me, please. Please. We don't have to worry about this, man. Please. Yeah, it's a really simple, but yeah, a really good chapter of Chainsaw Man, dude. Really good this week. And then we're on break, unfortunately. Fuck.
I really like... Because, God, everyone was calling the Aging Devil a bum, like, when they first showed up. And, like, we had no idea they were actually cracked.
They are actually ridiculous, man. Jesus Christ. Because, yeah, when the Aging Devil shows up, it's when they attack Denji, right? And Denji just breaks out.
Well, Denji just, like Aging Devil tries punching Denji.
Yeah, like smushing him. Yeah.
And Pochita's just like, nah, cuts the hands and stuff. Well, I think what happens next is going to be really interesting, because Aging Devil is trying to have their way right now, but no one's listening. No one's listening to him at all. And I like this moment too, where it's like, neither Chainsaw Man nor War Devil are mature enough to talk to me. Time to have them grow up. That's a really interesting line, because it's just like it's kind of equating maturity with cynicism. Like literally the whole goal is to just like kill a bunch of kids. You know, like oh, they're not mature like I am.
Yeah, that is a good point. Fuck, yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious how, like, what the Aging Devil's character is going to be like. Because these are kids, you know? Denji and us are kids.
Yeah. It's very typical of just, like, God, man. As someone who grows up in a black household, it's just like, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. It's just like, just because you're younger, they're just like, you don't know what you're speaking on. So it's just like, or like stay out of grown folks' business or shit like that. So yeah, I can definitely see a connection there where it's just like, you guys, y'all are hearing me, but y'all aren't hearing me. Let me help y'all grow up and see. Very much linking like age to maturity, which is the case for most people, but not everybody. So we'll see how that works out.
I wonder if straight up next chapter, like, literally gonna age them up.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
That would be really interesting how that would play out.
Yeah. I don't know like what their designs would be. I don't know if they even change at all. Maybe it's literally just like I sped up your age a little bit. Now y'all are like, I don't know, 30.
Your brain's developed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to kill kids yet with me? Like, come on, let's do the
Come
program.
on, yeah. I will keep aging you until you see my vision of murdering innocent children. Come on, guys. Get with the program. Get with the program, man. Y'all don't have my vision for real. Yeah. I don't know how this is gonna work out, but hey, man, we will definitely see next chapter. We will definitely see. But yeah, good chapter.
I guess one more thing. There's just some points where the art's really good. Small shout out. Fucking love the panel on page 13 where it's just the bullet going through the water. I think that's like the waves and traveling along the ocean. That looks so cool.
Yeah. I love the paneling of when the bullet is like right in front of the aging devil and they're just like, they like touch it and disintegrate it. I like that one a lot.
Dude. The Primal Devils are so cool.
They're really fucking cool, man.
Like, any time one of them shows up, it just changes everything.
Yeah, seriously. Hey, man. People were waiting, like, when, you know, Aging Devil is here, what's gonna happen? Here we go. Here we go. Shit's kicking off now. I'm really interested to see how their powers work. Something, like, centered specifically around time. I'm really interested to see how that goes.
But yeah, other than that, I don't have a whole lot more to say. So
I feel the same way. Are you fellas ready to move on to our next topic?
Sure, I suppose. I was like, I don't really have as much to say for Chainsaw Man either this week.
Yeah, bro, I'm asking everybody.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
All right.
Well, next up on the docket is going to be Kagurabachi Chapter 52, fellas.
Dude, this fucking chapter is
this shit fucked, bro. Oh my god. Yeah, this is a really good chapter.
And we still have yet to miss.
We have still yet to miss, man. I like this chapter a lot. I like this. I was not expecting Hirohiko of all people. Like, you have Chihiro searching, like, I'm going to shift the balance of powers. And Hirohiko is just like, oh, nah, man. I'm just searching for a friend. What? What? And just seeing Chihiro get, like, livid, like, absolutely pissed off. I for sure thought that this was, like, a tactic. I thought, like, oh, I'm just going to say this to make him upset and things like that. But throughout the chapter, it's becoming more and more just like, no, he genuinely sees Chihiro. Like, we get the end of the chapter where it's just him alone in the theater admiring him like a piece of art. He's like, only I can understand you. Nobody else understands this play. I get it though. I see what your intent is, which is so interesting because so much of the early yes, exactly. Yeah. Everything was about understanding what the blades were made for, and now this in itself is like understanding Chihiro, and especially how it's been tied to death. You could argue how Chihiro himself, especially with him being an extension of the blade, Chihiro himself is now a weapon, and now it's more so developing like Chihiro, like understanding him and who he's all about. God damn, this shit's so good. God damn, Kagurabachi's cooking, bro. Oh my god. The spread in this week too, man, where they're falling from the ceiling. He just uses Nishiki, slices them all up. Superhero land on the stage. Nah, he's got it, chat. He's got it, man.
It's one of those things where, like, I had to wait for a little bit to be, like, really sure, but I'm gonna be honest, this author, Hokazono, is that his name?
Hokazono, yeah.
Hokazono. Dude, his villains are just insanely good.
So good, man.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, the first two, really good, but they're the first two villains. I don't think, he hasn't missed.
Yeah, this motherfucker's 3 for 3.
It's the way he connects the villains to Chihiro.
Yes.
It just adds so much. I think, and it's like, yeah, he's not just a villain because he looks cool and he has a cool ability. Like, there's an actual reason for why this guy is Chihiro's villain.
Yeah, like Hirohiko can't be replaced by anyone. Like, you can't just shove in anyone. It has to be him.
It just makes them so much stronger characters. It just makes them so much more. I mean, it's just good development, really.
This is the power of an author who likes his main character, bro.
You know what? I wasn't gonna bring up something, but I won't bring it up.
You're so nice.
Bro, go ahead. You can bring it up.
Yeah, man.
Dog shit, dude. Like, this is
What'd you say?
Literally, Sukuna is dog shit.
He's spitting.
Like,
he's cooking.
Bro, imagine having a villain that like has cool like conversations with like the main character.
God, man.
What a concept.
What a concept. A main character and an antagonist being linked together. Damn. Couldn't be MHA. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, man. A very interesting dynamic between characters, and they actually get to fight for their ideals. Damn. Could not be Deku and Shigaraki for real. But I really like how even when he lands in the theater and, Hirohiko's talking to the guy and he's just like, dude, you're bleeding. He's like, yeah, I got cut by a blade, but watch out. Do not let the same thing happen to you. He just used that as a warning. He's like, listen, bro, I got fucked up. Don't let this happen to you, man. You can get spooky out here. Yeah, man. Here comes the bad guy moved me. Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. Hirohiko, also dick, man. Oh my god. This man just drops in. He's just like, have you seen this? No, I haven't. Spoils the entire thing. Okay, man. All right, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Just such a good chapter this week, man. So good. I love how even it's just like, yeah, we have the power to kill you. We have the power to take down N10. And him saying like, oh, he's bluffing. I thought for sure it's like, no, he's going to see the power of it. But no, Chihiro bodies them. And it's because Chihiro has spent so much more time with his blade. And he has such a better understanding of it than someone like Sojo who just got it. And he evolved on the spot. I like that distinction there. It's so simple, but it's so nice. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Allows us to focus more on Chihiro and Hirohiko, which if they're fighting here too, damn, that's so cool.
It's such a cool like setting for a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, like the theater, like, again, the whole thing is just like, I'm the only one who can understand you, and they're fighting on a stage, just discussing art. Oh my fucking god! Oh my god!
Page 14, where they're like falling through the roof, and you can like see Chihiro's blade cutting through the guy's like neck.
Yes,
it's
man.
So cool, dude.
And I love those shots where you can see Chihiro, like he's like, it's like a zoom in on his eye where you can like see him spinning around. I think it's on page 14 as well.
It is 15, yeah.
Yeah, 15, where you can see him spinning around with Nishiki, like trailing his eye. Dude, that shit is so cool.
Well, you see that on top of page 13, where you see like it, and in the middle of page 12, where it's the movements of his head. It's really clever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also like too how you have like the last chapter we had at the temple where you had the guy, he was on the gong or whatever, and he was playing his whole instrument, and then he was, it was like setting the scene when Samura came in. It's the similar thing here where you have people playing the shamisen, and then he breaks through and he falls in. Like, it's just so cinematic, man.
It's gonna
so
be
good.
so sick when this gets animated, dude.
Oh,
we'll
my
actually
God.
Like, have the music with the action.
Yes, dude. Like, just simple shit, man. So good, dude. I think the Black Ogre, that's his name. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember it was the Black something, but yeah, the Black Ogre, he defeats him.
I'm wondering if, like, that's meant to refer to Chihiro, because he is.
It has to be. Yeah.
Dressed in all black, but in that case, if we're meant to like read into that as a metaphor, then I wonder who's meant to be the hero.
It's Hirohiko in his mind. I imagine so.
Because I'm
not sure about that after this, because like
because he sees him as like him,
Yeah,
I mean
they're the same.
Of course, I mean villains and heroes can be similar. I think it is just a situation where he's just like, I'm the whole hero of this thing. I mean, maybe it is someone else, but
yeah, because he specifically on page 13, he says, "Here comes the bad guy. This is the good part," and that's when Chihiro falls through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially him coming in and warning the civilian, like, "Oh, you're hurt." He's like, "Yeah," he's like worried about him, like, make sure this doesn't happen to you as well. So it could be I think it is just a situation where Hirohiko is like, I'm the hero here, and it like how sympathetic is it where the hero was just trying to fucking talk no jutsu the villain. He's like, we're the same, you and me. He's like, man, fuck off. Shut up, man.
I love
Die.
how annoyed he gets with him on the
Yeah.
last.
He's like, cut the bullshit, man. Shut up. Oh my God. Yeah, man. This shit is genuinely amazing. Genuinely fantastic chapter. I think this is one of my favorites in the story so far, honestly. This is really good. This is really fucking good. I like this one a lot, man. Kagurabachi's great.
I won't go so far as to say it's my favorite. And like, I mean, most of the stuff, I have to say most of my favorite stuff was back with Sojo, but we're definitely getting some good setup here.
Yeah, bro, the fall off's been crazy for you then. I'm sorry. It's just been downhill since then, huh?
Fuck. We peaked.
We peaked too early. Yeah, no, this is. I just fucking love Kagurabachi, dude.
Shit is so good, man. Shit is so fucking good, dude. Yeah, man. Just a really good chapter this week for Kagurabachi. I'm so excited to see how this fight continues. I'm hoping we stick with this, and as much as I love Samura, man, I'm hoping we don't swap back. I'm hoping we only see what happens at the fort when we're done here and we wrap up and Chihiro gets there. I'm hoping that's the case.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'm so hoping that's the case, man. But with how much emphasis is placed on Hakuri getting healed up for the 30 minutes, I imagine we do cut back at some point. This fight's so fucking cool, man. I just want to see more of it. But yeah, that's really all I gotta say for Kagurabachi this week. Really good chapter. Really fucking good. Anything else you guys want to tell you about it before we move on to our final chapter of the week?
No.
Thank you, Kagurabachi.
Thank you, based Kagurabachi, man.
Thank you for being fucking awesome.
Thank you for being so peak.
Yeah, he's good.
All right, let's move on to our final one of the week here. The final one on the docket, the debut. Yeah, the debut of Dandadan Chapter 168. If you haven't read up to this chapter or you just don't care about it, this is your time to dip out now. We appreciate you for sticking around with us, by the way. Make sure you like up the stream, and I guess just have a good day. Let us know what your favorite chapter of the week was. But anyway, Dandadan 168. Fellas, how are you feeling about this?
Man, it was just
it's a setup chapter. We are in the beginning of a Dandadan arc, which means that everything needs to be weird in a way we don't understand, whereas later on it'll be weird in a way we do understand.
Type shit.
By the way, great, Kagurabachi reference. when she's looking at the goldfish.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I did think it was a little funny because I remember when Xena sent the chapter to chat, and I read it, and I was like, oh man, this is like not a great chapter for the podcast. Like for the first time we talk about it on the podcast, like there's not a whole lot to talk about. Yeah, but after going through it, I do have a couple things to say. So we get the introduction of this like Sadako looking girl.
Yeah.
Crazy and with a knife.
I love the page 7 is so good, dude.
Is that the one where she looks in? Yeah,
peeking through the doorway.
It's genuinely so creepy. Yeah.
Bruh.
I think so. This is just my best guess of like what this is going to be. So I think this girl, this Sadako looking girl, she's one of their classmates, and I feel like what it might end up being is like she has been their classmate this entire time, but people just don't pay attention to her. Like she's
a very gloomy archetype of a character.
She's just completely ignored. Yeah, she's just completely ignored. And I think what it's going to be is because Momo, the whole thing is Momo is now like the size of a fairy, and they have this theory that's like, oh well, fairies are hard to find, but because now I'm the size of a fairy, maybe I'll be able to see them because she like sees the fairy.
Yeah,
at the end
one
of chapter.
Guy. Yeah.
Theory is now that's like, oh, because I'm the same size, it's like I can see them, I can pay attention to them when I couldn't before. And I think because we get the page where Momo's like in the classroom and she's being loud and like and no one can see her. But I'm thinking this Sadako girl was in the classroom and she did notice her. She did see her. And I think it's gonna be one of those things where it's like because she's an outcast, because she feels like unnoticed by everyone else, she had the ability to see Momo. And that's why
she's invisible. She can see the unseen.
Yeah, basically. I think that's what it's going to end up being.
I think it is. I think she's also connected to. How do you say his name? Saint Count Germain. Germain. Yeah.
Saint Germain.
I think.
Germain, it depends.
Yeah, I think she's connected to him as well because if you remember when he took the fairy card, he stabbed it with like a very small knife. And that's how he took it. And she looks like she has the exact same thing in her hands, which makes sense because he's been like using students to like help him collect powers. So if that's the case, like, yeah, just go, Momo's small and vulnerable right now. Go track her down, especially if you can see fairies right now, then go track her down. I think it's connected back to him definitely in some way.
That would make sense.
But yeah, it's just a hide and go seek chapter. Very quick read.
Crazy thing is it's 19 pages, which is like pretty long. But
yeah, dude.
It's a very atmospheric chapter for just kind of going around at first. I love it. She's just fucking Spider-Man right now.
With her hands. Yeah.
It's cool.
Just having a good time, man. Momo's so cool, man. But yeah, I will say Dandadan as a whole. I figured I'd bring this up as a talking point because, excuse me, I spent this past week just rereading Dandadan because I was caught up to it for a while, and I ended up like just falling off the wagon. I was like, I'll catch up at some point, and then it was brought up like, oh, we should do it on the podcast. I was like, okay, I'll use that time to catch up, and I was like, nah, fuck it, I should just reread it. I don't remember anything, and man, first time I read the story, I was just like, this is fine, like it's cool. But this second time, man, I was like, holy fuck, this shit rocks, man. Like, this is really good. And I think it's just because I brought it up to these guys beforehand. I think I was reading Dandadan, like, I don't think I was prepared for it in a sense. Whereas, like, everyone else I've just been recommended, it's just like, oh, you should read it, it's amazing, blah, 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 blah. And I read it, and I think I was just looking for things that didn't necessarily matter. Like, I just don't think I understood Dandadan. I'll probably make a video on this whole concept one day. But, like, I was more so concerned about just, like, where did these aliens come from? What's the deal with this yokai? Where's the hard line character development and things like that? And I was... My attention was away from, like, everything that really mattered. Like in my mind is just like, oh, this manga is like just a spectacle, but like what else is there? But then it clicked to me in this read through. It's like, no, the spectacle is like the point. Like the spectacle is like a big thing. Like none of like, oh, where does this alien come from and blah, blah, blah. They don't really matter. Like, yeah, we'll get lore. Just like, oh yeah, the Serpoians are from here or whatever. But like none of that stuff really matters. How this power works, how that power works, is not too important. It's more so focused on the characters. And that was my favorite part of Dandadan when I was reading through, when we would get like Vamola's backstory, for example. I was like, damn.
So
yeah, I was
Backstories
like,
are so good. Dude.
Genuinely amazing.
Consistently.
I was just like, damn, man, this is so good. Or like Zuma's backstory not too long ago. When I was reading through that,
dude.
I almost cried.
That one page. Holy shit.
God, dude. Like, it just breaks your heart instantly.
Yeah,
so
man. Like, I just looking back on that, or the one page for me is when the police officer is like telling his story and he just says to him, I'm not going to fail you. Man, that shit hit me. Yeah, just so many of these moments were throughout Dandadan, and like I only really felt them when it was time for these backstories, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, why don't we get more of these emotional moments more? And in this read through, it helped me realize, like, no, these emotional moments are like all over the place, and it's sure, you know, like X and Y character may not, you know, have this crazy ass development. Oh my god, it's super deep and layered and intricate and stuff like that. But like, fuck, I care so much about these guys. They're so lovable. I care so much. Like at first I was like, Ken's fine. But like, damn, dude, Ken's so cool. And I'm so happy when he's just like, I love you. Jaw on the floor. I ripped my shirt off. I'm doing backflips. I was like, oh my god, man, this is so good. I care so much for him and Momo's relationship. Ira, so funny. She's such a stupid idiot. But like, there are these moments where she's so sincere and like super kind. It's so funny and sweet. Gigi has grown on me so much. At first I was like, this guy's annoying. But then I read through it. I was like, damn, dude. Like, this guy is so sweet.
It's really interesting, Sarah, because we did not talk about, like, you came to that, like, your new understanding of the story. And it's the exact same as what I like about the story. So we didn't like discuss it. You just like came to it on your own. And because for me, that's always been my favorite part of the story are these like little character interactions. You're always getting something out of it, even if it's purely for comedy. Where it's like they're like just like funny little moments. Like I can name a dozen. Like just for example, last chapter where Momo's like talking or whatever, and then there's like the kid in the class sitting next to Vamola, and he's like, "Oh, were you talking to me?" And she just goes, "No, I wasn't."
Yeah,
and just a smile on her face. No. It's so fucking funny. It's like just like those moments. I just love them, and they're like in almost every chapter. It's funny because I'm doing a reread too, but I'm going much slower. I'm only like 30 chapters. I'm like right at the end of the like Nessie arc.
The Nessie one, yeah, the one where they're trapped in the school. Yeah.
Which admittedly is probably my least favorite part of the story.
That's so.
I like that arc a lot, actually.
Well, I just think it's
kind of nothing, you know.
I understand
it's
that.
Distracting to me because they're naked the whole time, and I don't know.
I
Something about the comedy.
That.
As funny to me. Here's the thing: that's my least favorite part of the story. I still like it; it's still good.
Right.
I think Dandadan is pretty consistently good all the way through.
Yeah.
But like a moment that stood out to me a lot was just like, and I don't remember it like standing out to me before when I first read it, was like when at the end when he's like, let me explain like what you saw when he was like on top of Ira and she was trying to kiss him or whatever. And she's like, and Mom was like, so you're saying it was a misunderstanding? And he's like, I can deal with like anyone else understanding, but you're the only one I can't.
I want you to understand.
I want you to understand. Like it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
So genuine.
It's like moments like that. Yeah, it's like that for me is the best part of the story.
Yeah, and like it's so sweet where like Momo's just like, oh, it's fine, whatever, who cares? He's like, no, if it bothers me, tell me. Or if it bothers you, tell me. Like, let me know so I don't do it again. Like, oh man, dude. So sweet, man. I really like that. Or just like when you see Turbo Granny, she just leaves, and it's just like, yeah, Seiko like pretends to be tough, but she's clearly broken up about it, and she's waiting by the door. It's like, man, fuck, dude. It's just like, no matter how crazy this series get, it's so down to earth. Like, it's such a lovely story, man. It's so good. And like seeing that not only helped me appreciate like the characters and like the story more, but just like other aspects of manga. Like, dude, the way Dandadan, like, I mean, obviously, most obvious, the art. Oh my god, dude. Absolutely amazing. Dude. Like the fact I was reading through, I was
artists in the game right
genuinely now. I was like, this shit's coming out weekly. What the fuck, man? Like, this is insane. The art is obviously amazing, but dude, the way Dandadan does page turns, it's like the way it sets things up in chapters.
It's almost like a horror manga.
Yeah, genuinely.
The skill of a horror manga.
Yes.
Like, horror manga is all about the page turn. That is the like core skill you need to have, because it's supposed to be shocking. It's supposed to be terrifying when you turn that page, and he does it so fucking well.
It's just like, what is happening?
Because the page turn, the way he structures it like a horror manga, but this applies to everything.
Yes.
All of the emotional moments are treated as shocking page turns. Even just choreography uses the page turn really effectively, where instead of showing like speed in a way a shonen typically might, it uses it. The fast attacks are snappy, they're instant, they're already there by the time you process them.
Yeah,
it's really unique.
Or like Ken's like 4 motions in one, and like you see the double spread of him moving around. Like, that shit is so cool. I was gonna say, like, one of my favorite page turns was after Vamola's backstory, and you see everyone's reactions, and you page turn, and it's just a full shot of Momo pissed off crying. Like, oh my god, man. Series does so much cool shit, man. So much of it is just like the amount of swag this series gets. It's great. And I think I think we can transition to the episode 1 of the anime. I feel like so far they are getting it, man.
They are.
It was really good.
They are getting it.
So good.
I've had that shit stuck in my head for like days, bro. I don't think it's ever gonna leave. I know my family is tired of me just singing Dandadan around my house.
Can you shut the fuck
up? Like, oh, brother. It's
So
like,
good.
who sings that song? Creepy Nuts? Keep it that way, Junior. Fuck. Yeah, no, man. It's genuinely amazing. Like, from the soundtracks to just like, I watched it in the English dub because I was surprised they even had one. Crunchyroll just loaded up English for me. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Loaded that up, and that was pretty good too. I like that one. Just so far, just the animation, the songs, really good, man. Really good. But yeah, man. I figured since it wasn't like a very like interesting chapter of Dandadan, I could just like deviate from the path a little bit and just talk about my overall experience with the story. Because like,
I mean, it's our first time talking about it, so we should give our thoughts and takes and all that stuff.
So I guess I'll say my favorite part of the story so far, my favorite like moment, it's 2 chapters. It's chapter 117 and 118, and that's the end of Vamola's arc.
Yeah,
where oh my god,
I forget her name, but it's
the mirror yokai.
The mirror yokai shows up.
Oh, Reiko Kashima.
I agree. Reiko, that's right. I agree though. That is just like,
that is
I think
favorite.
Those are 2 of the best chapters ever in the series. Like,
The way he showed her backstory with like no exposition at all,
like
you completely get it. Yeah, it's like because it's like, okay, here's this evil yokai who wants to kill Momo, who's been hunting her down this whole arc, and then in a moment she switches and destroys the aliens. She destroys the true villains of the arc.
Them,
and it's a complete 180. And he completely justified it and made you understand with no dialogue.
Yeah,
it's purely visual. It's like
it's so
It makes me emotional. Like, just that, like, I think I cried. When that chapter came out, I think I did cry.
I was shocked when that chapter came out, because, like, it never even... It's one of those things where it's just, it's an author pulling something off in a way that's almost effortless, it looks like. Like, it's not. You know all the skill that's going into it, but they made it look easy.
Especially because of, like, when Reiko first appears again, even when rereading, I was like, fuck, man, I totally forgot. So when you see them, you deal with the aliens, and it's like, we finally dealt with them, and it's like, no more are coming through, and we're trying to figure out what to do. And again, excellent page turn. You page turn it as just Reiko, like, I've been looking for you. It's like, fuck, like, when you see Momo just, like, close her eyes, she just falls to her knees. I'm like, I get it, man. Fuck, like... I just felt my heart break into a million pieces. Yeah. And then it just, like, immediately, like, the switch is flipped because of what you mentioned, Taco. It's like, holy shit, dude. Oh my God.
It's Momo's love for her grandma. It's her love for Okarun. It's like Reiko sees that and sees that love that she had in her life when she was alive. It's so good, dude.
Yeah, man. And, like, even their talk at the end of the arc was really nice.
Yeah.
She's just like,
it's the best arc in the series. Like,
I agree.
So good,
it's really good.
It's like, it has so much good emotional stuff in it too, like that and Momo's backstory. It has just some of my favorite panels.
Action is crazy, dude.
All of them lined up, ready to fight. It's such a good panel. I had to make it for the podcast.
Yeah, it's really cool, dude.
The fights in that arc are so
fucking
good.
The one spread of, like, Evil Eye where he sends the punch through the massive alien and you see the spiral. It's like, oh my lord. Holy shit, dude. This is awesome.
I love Dandadan.
Bro, I was not expecting, speaking of that arc, Momo, her powers, like, can attack different dimensions? That shit is crazy, bro. She broke it.
It even kind of showcased that in
I forgot that part.
A little bit. Like,
Actually, I was just about to bring that one up next. Is like, Ikasai, from this chapter, we did get the premiere of Dandadan's first anime episode this week, which was, in fact, a very good episode.
I feel like the thing with Dandadan is, like, it just does so much well. Like, it has good comedy, it has good romance, it has good action, it has good art, it has good emotional moments. Like, it has good horror moments. Like, there's some panels that are genuinely fucking scary. And it's like, I feel like it's not a very technical manga. If you go into it with the mindset of trying to understand every little thing and try to understand, like, the logistics of how everything's working, you're going to be disappointed because it doesn't explain that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it will explain a lot of important stuff later, but it's not like...
That's not the main attraction of the story,
It's funny. It actually reminds me of, like, One Piece in that regard specifically, because One Piece is very similar, where it's like, Oda doesn't really care about the logistics of how everything works. It's more so, it's like, okay, does it work for the characters? Does it work as, like, an emotional moment? And it's like, I think Dandadan has similar priorities, where it's like, the characters come first. That's what really matters.
For sure, yeah.
After all. Like, it's... God, yeah, I love Dandadan so much.
I'm so happy we
so
added it to the podcast, dude. It's a good time to add it to the podcast, too, with the first episode coming out. Cause the anime, I mean, we've already said it.
Pretty awesome like that in the time to that way.
It's pretty good. Do we know how many episodes the anime is going to be?
I think it has to be 25, because it's covering Gigi's arc, or the Evil Eye arc, too, it looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know how many specifically, but it has to be a lot.
According to Mal, we're only covering up to 12 episodes.
12 episodes, huh?
Okay.
Wow.
I guess
the final episode
will just be like
GOH showing up, I guess.
I was about to say, it just has to be Gigi showing up, I guess. I thought for sure it'd be covering it, because, like, the one stairway they show is, like, similar to the one that they climbed to get to Gigi's house. So,
We'll see.
Yeah, I imagine it has to, but why? I guess why not? But like, why have Gigi be such a prominent part of like the opening and marketing if he's just gonna show up in like the last episode? Damn.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. But yeah,
it might be something where we're getting the like 12 or 13 episodes first, but it's like we're gonna get another 4 soon after.
hopefully.
Like maybe next year. Because usually it
Right,
takes
like
a couple years,
yeah,
but-
because sometimes it takes longer than that if it's like they're not planning it that way. But other times they just like, they just have that shit. Like, hey, we're already producing this now. We're gonna have it ready to go.
I have a feeling that's going to be the case.
That might be the case.
It's because like I can't envision Dandadan not being popular this season.
Mhm.
I mean,
Well, also they have plenty of material to cover.
yeah, like they're not.
Yeah, they're not
That too.
starved.
168 chapters. And if there's
Yeah.
only 12 episodes and it only goes up to Gigi's like first appearance, that's only what, like 30, 20 something chapters? Like
I was about to say, yeah, because it'll cover Nessie. I remember like chapter 34 is when we're just starting Evil Eye arc. That's when they find out about the side room in the house. So like, yeah, it should be around like chapter 30 something.
that makes sense.
We'll see when we get there, though. We'll see.
We shall see.
The anatomy doll is probably the last thing. Could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, really good week of chapters, man. Really good stuff. We had a lot of good stuff.
Actually, that would actually make sense why Gigi's like in the marketing and stuff, because the anatomy doll stuff happens before we go to
His
Gigi's,
house,
like
yeah.
house.
I think
and
that's like the
Gigi
thing right
shows up-
before it.
Yeah, he's in those couple chapters, so that means he's gonna be pretty prominent in like a whole episode or two, probably. So
That makes
that would
sense.
make sense why
Yeah.
he's in like the opening and stuff.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I
Mm.
mean, I'm not mad at it. I like Gigi, so it's fine.
Yep.
But yeah, are we ready to get the F up out of here?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff. Hey, all good chapters. We didn't hate a single thing this week. Let's
God,
fucking go,
it
fellas.
feels so
The
good.
only thing I hated on was JJK again.
Hey, brother, that's a day that ends in Y.
Feels good to love. Hell yeah.
Yeah. man.
So let's see here. So I know we're on break next week this week for Chainsaw Man. We do have One Piece and we do have Kagurabachi.
We'll have
And I
Dandadan
believe
as
I
well.
already mentioned that we do have Hunter x Hunter next as well.
Yeah, so it'll be a 4-episode
yeah.
podcast. Yeah.
It'll be a pretty cool one.
Yeah, it'll be nice. But yeah, definitely let us know down below what your favorite chapter of the week was. Doesn't have to be anything we covered on the podcast. It could be Blue Lock, Blue Box, Kill Blue, Grand Blue, Blue Beetle, Undead Unluck, fucking, what else? Ichi the Witch, Hematen. Let us know, man. Let us know. I was going to say something else, but I forget. Anyway, with that all being said, we're going to get the F up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, whether that be live or after the fact. Make sure you guys like the stream. And yeah, with that all being said, we're out of here. Goodbye. Mwah! And good night.